Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me on this channel. For those of you who are joining me from Wanderlust, our other channel, thank you so much for taking time to check out what we're going to do on this channel over here. I really appreciate that. Basically, I wanted to have the opportunity to share some of my thoughts and my ideas on some of the issues in the world, some of my thoughts on everyday life and lifestyle, and we felt that it was a slightly different purpose to the other channel, so we thought we'd bring it all to here. And so I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you like my thoughts and my ideas on different scenarios, and I hope that you interact and let me know what topics you'd like me to share thoughts on as well. And so we'll see how we go. I wanted to start off really by talking about a charity that I recently heard of, and their work really impacted me in a way that I don't think any charity has impacted me before. And I thought it would be great to be able to use this platform, however small it is at the moment, to be able to just share a little bit about what they do, and hopefully you can be inspired by it and maybe move to action if that's something that you feel you're able to do at this time too. The charity is called Care for Children. The other week I was invited along to a dinner to be able to find out more about what the charity does over here in Asia and now globally. It was founded by a guy called Robert Glover, who in 1998 moved to China with his family. He has six kids, and they moved to China to be able to work specifically with the orphans and the orphanages in China. Throughout that time, they have been able to see more than 1 million children. Just think about that for a moment. Living in Singapore, that is 20% of our population who were orphans, not kids without families, and they've been able to see them placed into families. The way that they work, I just want to share with you because it's incredible. They work with local governments, working with their orphanages, and the aim is to be able to place every single child in a family and to be able to essentially close down the orphanage so that all the children who are in these situations can experience the love and the security of a family themselves. Now, their work with the government means that these children aren't adopted, they're fostered. And initially this kind of made me think, oh, that doesn't sound quite right, because I think I just only heard of like horror stories from the UK of how fostering hasn't gone well, even though I know that it has an incredible amount of benefits. The reason why they go with fostering and not adoption is because it means that the onus is still on the government. The government makes sure that they are still funding, they're still providing for the children, they're providing training for the families to be able to look after the children too. They're making sure that the children have education, have food, have water, have clothing, all these wonderful things. And so the government is still responsible, but using the families as a tool to be able to bring security to all of these children, which is amazing. Also, within those orphanages that did exist, the governments then train all of the staff so they don't end up losing their jobs. They end up being social workers or physiotherapists or other sorts of therapists who are able to support the children as they go into their families. This is just an incredible model that really blew my mind, and it blew my mind because it seems so simple, yet it's incredibly effective. And what Care for Children has been able to do is to place over 1 million children into families with the support of the government. Now, they have just exited China, and China and its government are looking after its orphans so well that they were able to support all of these children and families now without the help, without the need of the charity being there, although I'm sure the relationship is still there, and they're still able to have conversations and share advice and stories, which is great. But now they're moving into other areas of Asia. They're in Vietnam and Thailand and Cambodia, and they're looking to do exactly the same thing. Robert Glover has been able to have conversations with other countries and other governments too, including Greece and Italy and also Florida in the States. And I just think it's amazing to see what the charity might be able to do in the future. They've changed their vision. They've changed it to a world of children in families. Now, this is a huge feat to be able to see around 8 million orphans placed in families through a program like this, or multiple programs like this across the globe. But do you know what? I think they're going to do it. I really do, and I wonder the long-term impact that this charity will have on the nations, on the societies, on the children as individuals as well. The other night, I was sat with some friends having some curry. It was good. One of them has just got back from Bangkok, so he was really, really shocked by how there were no limitations on the moral standings of society. He and his wife walking through Bangkok and trying to be coaxed in for a massage, but the one with extras and all of these different things. And I think when the line is pushed back so far, the shocking things aren't so shocking anymore, and so there's a real openness to what can happen. And I know we as a world and as a society talk about freedom and lack of borders and whatever to be a positive thing, but there has got to be a line drawn when it comes to the moral way that we live, and the brokenness of life and people in those scenarios. And I wonder, it made me think, what sort of impact can a charity like Care for Children have when they change the whole future, the whole trajectory of its children, of its lonely, of its broken and bruised society. I really believe that Care for Children could change the world through the work that they do, and through this seemingly small area of influence. What can we do? Well, Care for Children, obviously they have a website. I've shared it here. We could look to get involved, donate, maybe get involved in other ways, if traveling with them and be able to explore and put your skills and your time towards what they do. Please reach out. I honestly don't know too much about the ins and outs of how it works, but please do get in touch, do offer your help if it's something that you're able to do. The other thing is just to talk about the great work that they're doing, talk about the great work that's happening, not just them, but so many charities are doing wonderful things around the place. Maybe it's worth us just placing focus on positive news. There's so much negative news out there through the media, and I think to be able to share the positive work is great. Maybe I don't have a very strong call to action today, but maybe it is just like what I'm doing now, sharing some thoughts, having a conversation, opening other people's ears, using the small platform that I've got to be able to share the great work of this charity. I'm totally inspired by what they do. I've got no idea what I might be able to do moving forwards to be able to help. And I just want to be able to do everything that I can, and this is just one small way of contributing. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to my thoughts today. I hope you've found some wonderful things in terms of what I've talked about regarding the charity. And I hope you join me for other thoughts. I've got ideas on racism, dealing with that, various other inequalities in the world that frustrate me, and the way that I see things could improve. And so I hope you join me in the future. I sometimes see myself as a simplist. Actually, the other day I called myself I'm trying to think of it now, I called myself a romantic simplist. And the idea was that, not romance as in that love side of things, but I've got this idea that there are simple solutions to life's issues, and if we were to follow it, then the world will be a very, very rosy place. That's the romance and the simplicity. There you go. So so thank you for joining me today. I hope you will like and subscribe and all the other things that are important to us YouTubers, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.